You won't see it in the headlines, but the reality is clear. Without Filipinos, some of the world's most powerful nations would be at risk of collapse. We're talking about the backbone of healthcare systems, the driving force behind luxury industries, the glue holding entire economies together. From healthcare in the United States to the luxury industry in the UAE, from elder care in Japan to business hubs in Canada, Filipinos are the engine keeping these economies running. They're the unsung heroes working tirelessly behind the scenes, often underappreciated and overlooked. Stay with us because today, we're revealing the countries where Filipinos are quietly but powerfully driving the economy, playing a much bigger role than anyone realizes. And let me tell you, the truth might just surprise you. Let's start with the good old US of A, the land of opportunity, home of the brave, and completely reliant on Filipino nurses? Yeah, you heard that right. The US may be a global superpower, but when it comes to healthcare, they're depending on Filipinos to keep their citizens breathing. We're talking over 355,000 Filipino nurses working in American hospitals. That's not just a drop in the bucket, people. It's a tsunami of talent, making up a whopping 40% of the total foreign nursing workforce. Seriously, try walking through a major hospital in any American city and not bumping into someone speaking Tagalog. But wait, there's more. It's not just nurses, folks. Filipino doctors, caregivers, physical therapists, they're all in high demand, stepping in to fill the massive, gaping holes in the American healthcare system. It's like America took one look at its healthcare system and said, you know what this needs? More Filipinos. And remember the pandemic? Of course you do. We all aged about a decade in those 2 years. Well, when the going got tough, Filipinos stepped up. While other healthcare workers were burnt out and fleeing, Filipinos kept going. Extra shifts? No problem. Sacrificing their own well-being? Happily. They were the ones making sure the hospitals didn't collapse like a house of cards. Filipino professionals aren't just content with being the backbone of the healthcare system, they're reaching for the top. We're talking hospital administrators, policymakers, educators. Filipinos are now shaping how healthcare is delivered, how hospitals operate, even influencing national medical policies. Without Filipinos, the entire healthcare system would crumble faster than a stale fortune cookie. So, yeah, you might want to start acknowledging the vital role Filipinos play in keeping your citizens healthy. Now let's hop on over to Canada, eh? Land of maple syrup, ice hockey, and a surprising number of Filipino entrepreneurs, you better believe it. Canada, with its reputation for being super welcoming to immigrants, has become a hotbed for Filipino businesses. Sure, you'll find Filipinos killing it in caregiving, the food industry, and corporate jobs, but it's entrepreneurship where they truly shine. In cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Calgary, Filipino-owned businesses are popping up faster than you can say poutine. And we're not just talking about your typical mom-and-pop shops either. Think restaurants, real estate, trucking companies, even high-tech startups. Filipinos are making their mark in every sector imaginable. Filipino communities in Canada aren't just focused on getting by, they're all about helping each other build wealth and achieve the Canadian dream, times 10. Many Filipinos who start as employees eventually make the leap to becoming their own bosses. They're opening businesses, investing in property, and even climbing the ranks of the political ladder. Canada might not have seen this wave of entrepreneurial spirit coming, but they sure are reaping the benefits. Filipinos aren't just workers in Canada, they're job creators, innovators, and economic powerhouses. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to jet off to the United Arab Emirates, land of towering skyscrapers, extravagant shopping malls, and Filipinos running the show, you better believe it. Dubai, Abu Dhabi, all those glitzy Emirates, they're known for their over-the-top luxury. We're talking 5-star hotels, world-class airlines, high-end shopping that would make your credit card spontaneously combust. But what most people don't realize is that Filipinos are the ones making sure that luxury machine runs smoothly. We're talking about over 85% of the workforce in the UAE's luxury service industry. That's right, 85%. These are the people managing those 5-star hotels, leading customer service teams in those high-end malls, and even operating some of the world's most prestigious airlines like Emirates and Etihad. So next time you're sipping champagne at 30,000 feet, chances are a Filipino is making sure that experience is top-notch. Filipinos in the UAE aren't just employees, they're setting the gold standard for what luxury service means. They're known for their incredible attention to detail, their unwavering work ethic, and their ability to make even the most demanding customer feel like royalty. Many Filipinos have climbed the ladder to reach executive positions, influencing business operations across the entire country. The UAE knows they've struck gold with their Filipino workforce. Their entire economy depends on the skills, dedication, and, let's be honest, the magic touch that Filipinos bring to the table. Next stop, Japan, land of the rising sun, bullet trains, and a demographic crisis that only Filipinos can solve. Yep, you heard that right. Japan is facing a double whammy: an aging population and a shrinking workforce. It's a recipe for economic disaster, and they know it. With millions of elderly citizens needing care, Japan has turned to the one group they know can handle it: Filipinos. Filipino nurses and caregivers are now essential to keeping Japan's elderly population healthy and cared for. But it doesn't stop there. Filipinos are stepping up in other sectors too, filling the gaps in industries Japan has been struggling to sustain. We're talking tech, engineering, factory work, you name it, Filipinos are doing it. The Japanese government has even rolled out the red carpet with special visa programs designed to attract more Filipinos. Filipinos are exceeding expectations. They're not just filling jobs, they're adapting, learning, and thriving. Many Filipinos who start as caregivers are mastering the Japanese language, picking up new skills, and moving into higher-paying positions. Japan might have initially seen Filipinos as a temporary solution, but they're quickly realizing that Filipinos are the future of their workforce. Last stop on our world tour, Australia, land of kangaroos, koalas, and a surprisingly large Filipino community making serious waves. You bet! Australia has always been notoriously picky about who they let in, but there's one group they can't seem to get enough of: Filipinos. Every year, thousands of Filipino professionals are packing their bags and heading down under, and Australia is welcoming them with open arms. Why? Because Filipinos are filling the skills gap in some of Australia's most important industries. We're talking engineers, IT professionals, healthcare workers, the backbone of a thriving economy. These are the people building Australia's future, literally. Filipinos aren't just filling jobs, they're building entire industries from the ground up. In the tech world, Filipino professionals are leading the charge in cybersecurity, software development, and those cutting-edge tech startups that are changing the game. In the construction industry, Filipino engineers and project managers are overseeing multi-million-dollar projects, shaping the skylines of Australia's biggest cities. Quietly but surely, Filipinos in Australia are becoming economic powerhouses. Australia might not always admit it, but they've struck gold with their Filipino workforce. So there you have it. The Filipino workforce, the hidden power behind global economies. They may not always be in the spotlight, but behind the scenes, they're the ones keeping the wheels turning, the engines running, and the economies booming. From healthcare in the US to luxury services in the UAE, from entrepreneurship in Canada to workforce transformation in Japan and Australia, Filipinos are quietly taking over. They're the backbone, the driving force, the secret ingredient that makes everything work. So, the next time you hear someone talk about the global economy, remember the Filipino workforce, the unsung heroes working tirelessly behind the scenes.